Hey, welcome back to the Lightspeed Social Agency YouTube channel. If you are not subscribed, make sure to click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications so that you always see us when we pop up. Today, I want to talk to you about making a pretty big decision. If you are on the fence about it right now, we're going to be talking about how to start a lawn care business. And this is going to be a very top level, highest level strategy video to kind of set you off on the right path, lead you in the right direction so that you can make the right calls your first year. So hopefully you're seeing this as we're going into the spring and you're thinking, man, I want to get into the lawn care business and I need some pointers in the right direction. Hopefully we can give that to you. We work with all sorts of lawn care and landscaping businesses of various sizes with the goal of getting them to $1 million in top line revenue. So this is starting you from $0. So let's just dive right in and talk about some of these strategies. The very first thing that you need for any entrepreneurial effort is a powerful why. Why are you getting into this? Is it to make more money? Is it to, be your own boss? Is it to control your schedule? All of those things can be really powerful whys when they come together. So you need to figure out what that looks like for you and make sure that the lawn care industry, the way that it works and the way that it's profitable will meet your whys. Because we don't want to go in with wrong expectations of what the business can do. If your, goal is to sleep in till 10 a.m. every day, that can be an admirable goal. You can live a great life that way, but it's probably not going to be the best goal to have going into the lawn care business where most guys are getting up, at the crack of dawn to get out there and get trucks ready to hit the field the moment they can start mowing. So make sure that your why lines up with the how of running a lawn care business. And part of that is defining what your long-term goal for the business is. What does success look like for you in your first year, in your first 5 years? And kind of figuring those things out and then figuring out later on how to break them down into smaller, more actionable goals will help you not only define what do I think success looks like. It'll get you on the path to achieving those goals. And then it helps you avoid a lot of the, kind of imposter syndrome that a lot of entrepreneurs face where they feel like they're kind of flying by the seat of their pants. They think everybody else has it more together than them. If you know, hey, I'm taking steps toward my goals, I'm checking things off the list. There's a really powerful anecdote in Paul Jameson's book. I believe that it is Cut That Grass, Make That Cash, where he talks to the Fullertons from Brian's Lawn Maintenance about pulling things off of the fridge. They had a series of goals they had put on the fridge and taking them off, checking them off as they achieved them. That if you've not read that book, very, very much worth your time. Go check it out. Okay, the next thing you need to do is decide what services you're going to offer. This is kind of defining the scope of your business right out of the gate. So if you have not, done a lot of work in the lawn care industry before, I would, move forward with kind of going with the bare bones of what it takes to start a lawn maintenance business or a weed and fert business. Focus on that core service. Get really, really good at that. What you don't want is to be kind of a jack of all trades who kind of sucks at all of them. You want to be really good at the core thing that gets people in the door and then add things as you have experience or as you bring people on who have experience. And a big thing that I would say here is when you're considering adding a new service, this is something I learned from my mentor in the lawn care industry. You want to make sure that you sell the work and then buy or rent the equipment that you need to do it. A lot of guys considering starting a lawn care business will already have access to a ride-on zero-turn mower, that sort of thing. You already have a string trimmer for your own home. So that kind of thing you might already have access to or be willing to upgrade because you would use it for your own home regardless. But when you start getting into more specialized equipment, make sure that the service is going to be a success before you expend resources in that direction. So maybe rent for the first couple of jobs if you don't have time to buy something, but make sure that you have a market for the service you're selling before you put out a bunch of money into the equipment to perform it. You really, really need to specialize your business around a core service at first and then add things as they come. So even if you're like, okay, we're gonna get into hardscapes, we're gonna be a like landscape installer, pick one thing that is a profitable service in that space and go after that one thing. So if it is patio installs, go hard after patio installs. Become the best patio installer you can be. If you're gonna do maintenance, mow, blow, and go and be 110% at that. Whatever it is you're gonna go into, make sure that you are the absolute best you can be. Always give 110% customer service. I know that it can get frustrating to deal with a demanding customer, whatever it is. Always make sure that you are giving as much as you can, because especially in those first couple years, you really need to build legitimacy in the market. And the best way to do that is to have people, when they hear somebody else mention your business, go, oh my gosh, those guys are incredible, right? The owner has always taken care of us. That we had this problem with XYZ, because there are always going to be problems. And they immediately took care of us, that sort of thing. Number 3, you want to make sure that you are licensed in whatever way is appropriate for your area, and that you have insurance that covers you in the event that you get injured working, you break somebody, you throw a rock through somebody's Porsche 911 window. You want to make sure that you're covered in the event of some sort of workplace accident, especially as you bring on guys to help you do the work. There might even be legal requirements there. So talk to a lawyer, figure out what the requirements are in your area. It is worth it to do it right from the outset, rather than trying to patch together something that's like approaching the legal requirement after the fact. Just figure out what it is. It's not going to be a huge expense to get that figured out and sorted out correctly. So make sure to do that. Number 4, you want to get your gear. You want to start as cheaply as you can without compromising your efficiency too much. So if it is just you right now, you've got a little bit of wiggle room on equipment. If you are buying equipment, you should try to buy something that's going to get you started efficiently. This is why weed and fert businesses are really, really good in the lawn care and landscaping space, because you can get pretty far on just like one tick above homeowner equipment there. You can get started treating lawns really, really quickly. It is just a matter of like knowing how to apply chemicals correctly. And then obviously you can scale into much more commercial, faster equipment that lets you like rapidly treat lawns. But you can get started and be profitable with cheaper equipment. Big thing I would look for here is the winter is the best time to be buying, when not a lot of people are scooping things up. You may even be able to find someone who maybe had a go of a lawn care business this year and is getting out, and that commercial equipment is available for a discount. As long as you are comfortable working on used equipment, and my experience talking to guys in the lawn care industry is that almost always they are pretty comfortable with that. They've done maintenance on their own cars. They have worked on their own cars, usually very hardworking guys that know that kind of stuff. And so if you're comfortable working on used equipment, I would definitely consider saving that money to not have brand new equipment. Make sure you clean it up, make sure it looks good when you're getting out there for your first spring. But try to save money where you can. But definitely, I would want you to be as close to a zero turn or something as you can get, so that you can move quickly. And that, as you learn the industry, you'll learn that like, okay, well maybe that wasn't great advice, Cody, because in the neighborhoods where I'm working, they're all postage stamp size lawns, and it's actually much better for us to just use a 18-inch push mower to just blow through them. If that is the case, then like by all means go for that. Where I'm at in Dallas, the suburbs here have pretty big yards. A lot of the suburbs were built out in the 80s, so lot sizes were bigger, and so it makes more sense to have a zero turn or just something bigger to conquer those lawns. So use what you have, as long as what you have is going to get the job done moderately quickly. We never want to build processes into the business that reward that the owner does not have to be paid minimum wage. We want to build in processes that are designed to scale. So you want to have a system for you as the owner when you're working by yourself that will still make sense when you bring on an employee. So your equipment for now might slow you down a little bit, but then we want to, as you can, upgrade into equipment that makes things move quickly, right? So once you're paying someone by the hour to do the labor, you want to make sure that you're enabling them to do that as fast as possible. And just to plant a seed in your mind, we're going to be talking to some people here shortly on the podcast who use pay-for-performance systems. And that is a system where it rewards employees on top of their base hourly rate for working quickly and efficiently, so that we're aligning those incentives of like, it's good for the business if they move quickly and efficiently and get things done. And it's also a benefit to the employee to move quickly and efficiently and get things done. So keep that in mind as you're buying equipment. Things that will help you move faster are going to make you more profitable. You just have to decide, like, look at where your break-even point is and decide if it's worth it. This is a little bit of a longer video for us, but we're going to keep plugging along here. Step number 5 is doing a test run. If you can, you've been taking care of your lawn and your lawn looks good, then that is an excellent place to start with taking photos, video, all of that. Get a t-shirt with your new logo on it. Get out there, have someone take some photos of you working. Those organic photos are going to help you for your website when you need to build out a website, when you build out a Facebook page or an Instagram, whatever social media you're going to be on. It's going to be really helpful to you to have those organic photos. And then also you need somebody else, right? It really helps if they don't have the same last name as you. So if you have a family member with a different last name or a friend that will let you take care of their lawn, I would do this for free if you can. Get out there, mow, and then get them to review you in the various places that it would be helpful for you to have those reviews. So your entry on Google Maps, really helpful to have a 5-star review over there. Good to have some pull quotes for your website later of someone saying that you did a great job, that they gave you 5 stars. Get a review on Facebook. Just start to make those online things look alive by having some good reviews, some good testimonials. Get that done so that you're setting yourself up for some good marketing down the road. Step number 6, you want to price your services the right way. This is a really big topic to cover in an already long video. So what I want to point you to is we have some other content about how to price, and that is going to help you out so much. It is critical to have this figured out from the very beginning, right? Because what you don't want is where you are coming into this with a blank slate and you have no idea what a benefit that is. So many guys build their businesses out wrong. They never learn how to price correctly. And then when they finally do learn to price correctly, then they have to deal with the stress of like going back to customers and being like, hey, we need to, up your rate. And that's a whole uncomfortable thing. And then you have to like test rolling that out. So you have the opportunity to learn to do it the right way. And to really quickly tell you how this works, you need to price in your overhead costs. So your equipment maintenance, your gas to get there, you have to build in that. And I talk a little bit about how to figure that out, but also kind of give you an idea of just like, hey, build in this percentage to your cost to cover these things. Then you need to figure out your labor burden, right? So you may not have that right now, right? You're the owner, you're not paying yourself an hourly rate. You want to be profitable at the end of the day. It is super important that you act like you have an hourly wage from day one. So you need to build in that you're paying yourself, 18 to 24 bucks an hour for that lawn crew labor, so that you don't end up in a situation where when you need to scale, you need to hire someone, suddenly your business isn't profitable anymore because you're having to pay this guy to be competitive, 18 to 24 bucks an hour, but you had built in $0 per hour as your labor rate. So make sure to build that in, and then build in that profit percentage that keeps the business flowing, that helps you pay for marketing, new equipment, all of that. So get that built in as well. You can assign a percentage there. I would really recommend, since you're at the outset of building your business, reading Profit First by Mike Michalowicz to learn how to structure your business so that you're kind of setting aside that profit from the outset so that costs don't just bloom and fill it. All right, so all of those things, step number 6, figure out your pricing. Watch the video we have fully going into how pricing works, the formula for it. Go watch that. Step number 7, how to get more clients. So this is, you've kind of like gotten people that in the immediate area to work with you. This is kind of like you've hit the end of your word of mouth and you finally need to bring in other people. And this is where I want to introduce you to one of the most important topics in the lawn care industry, especially if you're doing maintenance. That is route density. So when you are paying someone an hourly rate to mow lawns, mow, trim, blow, you are paying them not just when they're at the jobs, but the drive time between the jobs, right? So the more you can cut down on that drive time between their profitable labor hours, the more profit the business is going to make. The less time you're paying someone to be on their butt in a truck, and the more you're paying them to be on their butt on a mower producing. This is where route density comes in. This is why it is so powerful to have multiple homes on a block, multiple homes in a neighborhood, multiple homes in a subdivision, close together, and then grouping them by proximity so that you are very quickly able to go through and do a bunch of profitable jobs. And this means then that every time you sell a job in a subdivision, you're making every other job in that subdivision more profitable by cutting down on that crew's daily drive time. So this is a thing that pays exponential rewards as you go. And eventually what you can build to is a crew that spends their entire day in one subdivision with almost zero drive time. And that is the chef's kiss of the lawn care industry. You have to figure out route density. The best way to do this when you're starting out, you don't have a lot of money for marketing dollars, is a good flyer and then doing what's called a 5-around or a 9-around. You're gonna mow the lawn that's in your, that is your current client, and then you're gonna go to each of their neighbors, the 3 houses across the street and the one on either side of them. And you're gonna say, hey, we take care of your neighbor's lawn. We wanted to leave this here with you if you're considering hiring someone to mow your lawn this year, or whatever service you're providing. If that's weed and fert, that also makes sense for route density. It may not be the most comfortable thing. Maybe talking to people doesn't come naturally to you. You love being outside. You love popping your headphones in and mowing. But this is one of the best ways to grow that very small, very new lawn care business that needs to be scrappy. Get those flyers made. We have resources on how to do that. But get started there to grow your business your first season. You're gonna wanna join your local Facebook group for the area. Look for neighborhood Facebook groups, get in there. The best thing you can do on like Nextdoor and in these like local Facebook groups is to always be watching for when people ask questions about their exteriors. Try to find and point to resources about lawn care in your area, answer people's questions about their plants, all of that sort of thing. Always be that resource so that people know you in the group. There's an investment of time here. But when people know you for being the lawn guy, the fertilizer guy, then when they need that done, they're gonna come to you, right? And so you also, what you can do in there is, you want clients who post in that kind of group. So if you have a client who comes out of that group, make sure to ask them to post a review in the group that hey, John and his guys came out, they did a great job, and I just wanted to post a picture of my lawn. It looks great now. So that kind of thing. All of these sorts of like scrappy marketing tactics, very basic, can get you to have the ball rolling so that you can come back in a couple years and be able to do some of the bigger tactics we talk about here, the hyper-local Facebook and Instagram ads targeting these individual neighborhoods to increase your route density. All of this is about laying the groundwork for the big scalable tactics that come later. So I want to leave you with that. Robert and I are going to be talking about this on the podcast for the next couple weeks. So please tune in for that if you're not subscribed already. It is Lightspeed Lawn Care Marketing. You can find it anywhere you get a podcast. There will be a link to Apple Podcasts down in the description. Make sure to leave a comment if you are committing to start your lawn care business this spring. Let us know. Let us know what your name is, the name of your business. We'd love to watch your progress. We'll give you a follow on Instagram and see how it's going. All right, I will see you next week.